And we are finally back. We are revamped. We are renew. We are Ilz and Auweezy. Uh, Welcome to Sports Lessons. I am Auweezy.
Nils. How's it going?
I'm just going good. How are you?
Living life, bro. Living life.
Perfect. We are back. Sort of a new format. We've done this format before, but this is going to be our continued format where I'll be talking about some interesting sports history, sports lessons, if you will, to my very willing student here, Ilz.
A plus student right here. All right, let's go.
A+ student.
What you
So
got for me today?
let's just get right down to brass tacks. The Olympics are over, right? 2024's Olympics is done. What'd you think of them?
Honestly, probably didn't watch a second of it.
You
I'll
didn't
let you
watch
go
a
real.
second of it?
Listen, man. It was just kind of on. It was background noise. I saw some breaking.
Okay.
I saw that Australian girl. That was terrible. But honestly, if you watch the other people, fantastic. It's
I
actually
know,
really
like
cool.
Phil Wizard,
Yeah,
Canadian, was awesome.
gold. Let's
But
go.
I don't know if you know anything about that Australian girl, but Dr. Raygun, she has a PhD in breakdancing.
Cultural movement, yeah, breakdancing, which is
Yeah,
crazy. That's
I
a
know.
PhD I want to get.
Yeah. There's been other stories. There was a Turkish guy who showed up with no equipment and won silver for his team.
Yeah.
There was that surfer guy down in Tahiti who knew that he was going to win and came out of a wave, like looking like he was standing upright. There was a controversy of that Algerian boxer who ended
Yeah.
up winning gold medal. There was 1,000 different stories.
What you think of it?
I think she deserved to win. I mean,
No, not the story. I
oh,
meant the
okay.
whole Olympics. We're not getting into that. Not here,
Okay. I was like,
dude.
wow, all right.
Hell no.
I really like the Olympics. I thought it was fun. I think it's all about camaraderie. It's all about community. It's all about coming together. And although there were some stories where that wasn't it, there were some stories where I really liked it. Like that Turkish guy with the shooting, 4 or 5 different athletes used him as a celebration. So I thought that was really cool. So for today, I thought that we would do our own little Olympics story. This is going back to 2016 Olympics. Do you remember where that was held?
No. I was thinking, like, maybe I know it. No, I don't remember.
Just give a guess.
2016 Summer Olympics. What was the last one? Where was the last one?
Last one was in Tokyo.
Last one was in Tokyo. Uh, it wasn't China, was it? No.
No, that was 2008.
Yeah, no, I don't
All right,
remember, dude.
we don't have time for this.
Yeah, my fault.
That's all good. It was in Rio de Janeiro. It was in Brazil.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. Before we get into 2016 Olympics, I'm gonna ask you a question here, Ills. When I say U.S. swim team, who do you think of first?
Michael Phelps.
Perfect, exactly.
Yeah,
Best swimmer of all time, probably
yeah.
GOAT athlete. What about second? Another person.
There was this really funny guy, and maybe you're gonna talk about
Oh,
this guy,
okay, all
but is
right,
it
yeah.
is it is it Lochte?
It is
Is his
Lochte,
name?
Ryan
Yeah,
Lochte.
Lochte.
How much do
Yeah.
you know about Lochte?
Oh man, you know what's really funny? I watched the video on him recently. I don't remember much
Okay.
from the video. He was just a character. That's what I
Yes,
remember.
he is a character. And our story for today will be about Ryan Lochte. So I will share my screen, a little presentation I've cooked up here. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. All right. So Ryan Lochte. So I thought we would start off by going through who he is, right, as a person, as an individual, before we got into the 2016 debacle. So this is Ryan Lochte. He is a very good swimmer. He is considered probably the third best swimmer from the U.S. history. Michael Phelps being the first. Katie Ledecky, I thought is what you were going to say, would be second.
She was
Considering that
killing it this Olympics,
she
right?
was, yeah. I thought
Yeah,
you were going to go there, but then you went to Ryan Lochte. I was like, it's perfect.
yeah.
So Ryan Lochte, it has competed from 2004 till 2016. And if you don't know where those Olympics were, 2004 was in Greece, 2008 in Beijing, 2012 in London, 2016 in Brazil. So overall, he's won 6 gold, 3 silver, and 3 bronze. He won 4 of those in Beijing in this photo. He is a very accomplished swimmer. All right. He's also a character. All right. he is what I would consider, and I say this, as like I try to be a nice person, and I understand athletic achievements, but he is an idiot. He is one of, I think, the dumbest people I've ever met, and I think he knows it. You know,
Yeah.
I think he knows it.
He
Uh,
he's like he's almost like Ken from the Barbie movie. He's like a bimbo almost.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Himbo,
I
that's what you call it. Himbo.
Himbo. I would liken him a little bit to Travis Kelsey. Not on the that idiot portion. But on his game, like he had a reality show. I don't know if you knew about it. It was called What Would Ryan Lochte Do? Travis Kelsey also had his own reality show. I don't know how that one did. Maybe that'll be a story of its own. But in terms of what would Ryan Lochte do, it ran for one season. It got immediately canceled. And the whole point of the show was for him to find a wife. Um, he didn't find one actually, and that's the end of the
So
story.
it's this like did the show end with him just not finding anybody?
Yeah,
I'd
I
be
think so.
so
I don't think
pissed.
he did. I didn't think he. I don't think that was like a cliffhanger.
No
Um,
payoff.
yeah. So this show occurred after the 2012 Olympics. So that's when he gained a lot of notoriety. Because that's where Michael Phelps was won like 8 medals, or 8 golds, right? And then Ryan Lochte was like part of that U.S. swim team. He's an attractive person. Let's make a TV show about him, right? Obviously, after it was canceled for after one season, it was a pretty bad show. But there was one thing that came out of it that I remember when I was young. So 2012, I was 15, 16 years old. And I remember hearing about the story. I'm like, this is the dumbest thing to come out of the show. They came up with a word, like a catchphrase. I don't know. Have you ever heard of a certain cat? This guy? No, you haven't heard this.
No.
Okay, if I'm going to spell it out for you, and I want you to try and say it.
Yeah.
Jeah.
Jeah?
Yeah.
Like Gia?
That's exactly it.
Oh,
Gia.
okay, yeah.
That's it. Like
You know,
I
I put myself in his shoes to really come up
yeah.
with that.
Gia, that's like that took over like media at the time. Do you know what it stands for?
I assumed something, yeah, or I don't know.
I looked it up. It makes no sense. This is what it stands for. It stands for inner circle dedicated to turning it up at all times. That's that's the whole thing right there. That's what Gia means.
I thought you were gonna say an acronym.
No,
I'm
it's
like
not.
that.
This is
None of
not
those letters are there.
nope, this is not an acronym. This is straight
Okay,
up what it means. Yeah.
okay. Inner
All
circle
right.
turning
Oh,
it up at all
okay.
times. Yeah,
Uh, so yeah, so that is 2012 Ryan Lochte. Harmless, an idiot, but he's harmless, right? Then comes 2016, right? Here we are. I hate his hair. I don't like it.
it's like
It
the
doesn't match
Backstreet
him.
Boys.
He
Yeah,
he looks like he has a fake tan. 2016 Ryan Lochte. So the 2016 Olympics are in Brazil and Rio de Janeiro. It was met with a lot of controversy because 2 years beforehand, the World Cup was in Brazil. And a lot of people talked about, and I don't know if you know much about FIFA and how they deal, but FIFA sucks as an organization. They like to come in, they like to build a lot of buildings, they like to have the country spend billions of dollars, and then they leave. And then they had the Olympics 2 years later, and they do the exact same thing. There's a reason why the last Winter Olympics was hosted by Beijing, because it was only Beijing and Kazakhstan that like bid for it, and there's no way he was going to go to Kazakhstan.
that's great. Actually, I have an interesting point to interject here
Yeah,
because I heard this in a video as well. It's the last bidding for these Olympics. They bid for the two future Olympics, if that makes sense. So they had, what was it, Paris
yeah,
this year? And then at the same time, they decided that LA is going to be next
yeah,
Olympics because they were so scared that nobody's going to bid
yeah,
coming next year. So they're like, okay, let's punt it over, make it a 2028 problem or whatever.
yeah,
So they did both at once. That's why we know now that it's going to be LA.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that like LA's held it before. They've held the Olympics before. The traffic is going to be insane. I've been to LA and the traffic sucked, and that was a regular day in the summer. So during the Olympics is going to be insane. But LA can hold like a whole host of sports, right? The issue with Rio de Janeiro is that a large portion of that population is extremely poor. They live in favelas, and there were clips. They would show you clips of like flybys of the arenas, and you see the favelas like right beside the arena. So Brazil has a this reputation of like being a little less, I guess, well off than other countries, right? But they're trying their hardest. They want to run the Olympics, and the whole point of the Olympics is to showcase what's great about the country. It's like this whole thing with France, right? The Seine is disgusting, right? But
Yeah.
they don't talk about how the Seine is disgusting in the media. They want to portray this as like a great time, but in reality, it sucks in Paris. And Paris has a whole host of issues when it comes to protests and racism. But you try to not think about that when the Olympics are there, you know? And I'm sure it'll be the same thing when it's in LA. And I don't know when it is the next one after that. But that's just how it goes with the Olympics. Anyway, back to Ryan Lochte. So before we get into the issue at hand, Ryan Lochte won one gold medal at the Olympics. I don't want to make it seem like that's nothing. That's great. He won a gold medal. The 4x200. But then that is not what people talked about. So it's nearing the end of the Olympics, right? It is August 14, 2016. All right. Ryan Lochte and his four US swim buddies, their names are Jimmy Fagan, Gunnar Bentz, and Jack Conger. And they did not have time to figure out who was who. So we're just gonna leave it at that.
They all look the same.
They look
Honestly, other
if
than Lochte, they all look the same.
Lochte's fake tan and platinum blonde hair is the only reason why you could tell the difference.
Yeah,
Uh,
honestly.
but the rest of the guys, I don't know who they are. They're not like big time guys. They're not Michael Phelps and not Ryan Lochte. They're not Kayla Decky. But these four were involved. So before I get started, do you know anything about the story I'm about to say?
Kinda, but I don't want to like spoil it or anything. I
Okay.
think I know where this is going,
Do
but go
you do
ahead.
you remember it from back then, or was it based on the video you saw recently?
A bit of both. I remember there being news stories about what was happening. And then yeah, the video kind of jogged my memory there.
Yeah. All
But
right.
I'm gonna pretend I don't know. Go ahead.
All right.
Enlighten
Okay.
me.
So August 14, 2016, at a gas station, Ryan Lochte and his three friends, the U.S. swim team, got robbed at gunpoint. Like they put a gun to Ryan Lochte's head and robbed him. That is the main story here, right? This is portraying the worst parts of Brazil. This is portraying the worst parts of Rio de Janeiro, right? Uh,
Yeah.
uh, an international competitor visiting the country gets robbed at gunpoint. This is August 14th. People know of it the next day. I swear to you, this is how it gets reported first. Um, Ryan Lochte's mother tells Fox News about what happened. Um, because parents are allowed, obviously, families allowed at the Olympic Village in Rio de Janeiro. She tells one of the like it was like a passerby news anchor. They asked her. She says, "This is what happens." Right. Then Ryan Lochte gives an interview to Billy Bush. Do you know who Billy Bush is?
No, I don't.
Billy Bush is cousins with George W. Bush.
Oh,
Yes,
I
he's
didn't know that.
also.
Okay, cool.
I don't know if you remember the comment that Donald Trump made about grabbing women by a certain body part. He said that to Billy Bush.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
yeah, Billy and it was like a fallout. Billy Bush has not worked steadily big time since then. But he did an interview with Billy Bush and he basically said the same thing that him and his four friends got robbed at gunpoint. Basically, these guys came up, they showed a badge pretending to be police officers, and then they robbed the four swimmers. All right. So that was August 14th. August 15, Ryan Lochte goes back to the United States. He just dips.
Is the Olympics still going on at this point, or is it?
I think they're still going on. Lots of players go home before the end. Like recently, I saw Nikola Jokic going to
Yeah,
a
okay,
racetrack, and that
fair.
was days before today or yesterday when the Olympics ended.
Yeah, get
So
your medal,
people
get
are
out of
allowed
there.
to leave early.
Yeah.
So yeah, he just left the United States, and I remember at the time I'm like, that doesn't seem like a good idea. He just uh that's called fleeing the scene.
Yeah.
So that was August 15th. August 17th, Conger and Bentz, so two of the other swimmers, they're leaving the to go to the United States and they get stopped. So they remove them from the flight. And they're like, okay, actually, this is a serious issue. You can't just leave the country when you want. Like, you can't just, this is an investigation, right?
Yeah.
So those three of them are stuck there. And this is basically what happens. The Rio police issue their own statement. And they say that these four went to one gas station. They broke a soap dispenser. They damaged a door. They damaged a sign. They peed everywhere. And then they left. They were drunk.
Oh wow. Yeah.
And then they went to another gas station and they were stopped by security guards, which is why they thought they were stopped by people pretending to be police officers. They were stopped by security guards and they got them to pay basically $31 and then a $20 United States bill to pay for the property damage. So that is what the Rio police said, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was just straight up a lie
Yeah. So
from
then
the swimmers. Yeah.
from the swimmers. So then on August 25, Ryan Lochte gets charged. He gets charged with falsifying a crime or lying to the police about a crime. He's also not in Rio de Janeiro. I want to make this clear. I don't think he ever went back to Brazil. Right? He's like
I
this.
wouldn't.
But then on August 30, he does an interview and he says the exact same thing. He doesn't deny anything, except he does say that he lied about the gun part. Like he's like, I lied about that. Like that was my bad. There was no gun. All right. I'm
Wait, did
like,
he say I lied or did he
he says
like
I lied about
PR?
that part.
I'm dead, bro. That's so funny.
Yeah.
He didn't say like, "Oh, I misremembered." It's like, "Oh, it was no,
Yeah.
I lied. You got
Yeah.
me." That's crazy.
I think the crazy part about this whole thing is that the story just ends like right here. Um, what happens is USA Today did their own investigation and they found that they didn't damage a gas station. They didn't like they said that they never entered a bathroom of a gas station ever. But at the same time, these four guys did not get robbed at gunpoint, right? So I think there's a lot of miscommunication here. A lot of different like some of the different athletes gave like different claims against each other. One of them got his passport taken away. So to get it back, he donated $10,000 to a Brazilian charity just so he can get his passport back and then
Damn.
left.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
that's kind of.
I was scouring, I was trying to figure out like 5 minutes before I started this, I was like, I'm still trying to figure out like how did this end? It really didn't. I think what came out of it was that um I think they were just drunken guys being a little rowdy than usual. And then they made up that they got robbed at gunpoint. I think the bigger deal is that Ryan Lochte is a white man who came in, lied about this incident in a country which has rampant crime, portrays Brazil in the bad light, and then just dips. This is a big
Yeah.
issue at the time.
Yeah.
But again, no real consequences for him. He in 2017, the Rio police dropped the charges because they said like there's no point in like keeping up with this.
Right.
Um
I
and
mean, it's
his
nothing crazy, right?
yeah.
He
And
didn't like
then for
kill
him,
somebody.
the US swim team suspends him for 10 months. And in that 10 months, he got no money from them. He
Mhm.
lost four sponsorships. So there was a bit of fallout for him. But again, he didn't go to jail or anything like that. But he lost four sponsorships, which for an athlete that isn't like basketball or soccer, that's a lot of money being lost right there.
Yeah.
I don't know who sponsors him. You know what I mean? Or like how popular he is. I think by the time he was in 2016 Olympics, I think people were not totally interested in Ryan Lochte. Um, you know,
Fair. Yeah.
Michael Phelps was still in the competition back then, so I think people were just like paying attention to him a bit more. He also lost out on a White House visit, which I was like, I just put that down there. It's not
Oh well.
really that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But yeah. Um, I also have here a photo of them at the gas station. So here are your boys at the gas station. So it doesn't look like anyone's robbing them. It just looks like they're just walking out of a particular gas station. Whether or not they vandalized a bathroom, I think is up for debate at this point. But they definitely did not get robbed at gunpoint. There was no gun involved whatsoever. Um, yeah, that's the story. I have a little bit of a follow-up of him.
Okay.
In 2018, he was banned for 14 months for doping.
Oh wow.
I
Okay.
actually I wasn't going to include this, but it was really funny. He again, this is bringing up the sort of like the idiotic nature of Ryan Lochte. He said that he was like doing intravenous injection of vitamins, and then they replied back, or whoever is the doping agency, being like, "You're not allowed to do that anyway."
No, no, I
So,
wasn't doping. I was doing this other thing, which is also illegal.
and then in 2021, he missed out on the Olympics, and I think that's about it for him. I
Yeah,
didn't
how
hear
old is he
anything about
now?
him. I think he's in his 30s, which I think for a swimmer is a little bit too old now. Um, but that is the story of Ryan Lochte. A big part of the Olympics were like was that story. That's what a lot of people talked about. It took away from a lot of the other things of the Olympics, which, I kind of don't like. Yeah, the whole point of the Olympics is for people to have fun, people to enjoy themselves. So this kind of sucked. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts about this whole thing?
Um, for the whole story, like where I stand, the truth probably stands somewhere in the middle. I do think they were probably rowdy, they were probably disruptive when they were in the gas station, whether they broke something or not. And then yeah, they probably a security guard probably asked them for $30 and then they painted a whole country in a bad light.
Yeah,
That's something that was like easy to do with like Brazil's already negative publicity.
yeah,
So that's kind of it's assholey. Um, yeah, I think it really taints his legacy because yeah, I remember him being a really good swimmer.
yeah. He
Like,
was.
um, I remember seeing those interviews and just the way he was given them really made him seem like a himbo, like I said
Yeah.
before.
Imagine his
Uh,
PR, his PR agent, like he's like, just don't say you lied about the gun.
yeah,
He's like, I lied about the gun.
I lied. I lied. You
Hey,
got
hands
me.
to God.
You got me. Which is so stupid. I don't know. At the end of the day, though, he's probably loaded. He's chilling.
Yeah,
And like he falsified stuff, but it's also like it's not the biggest deal in the world. So it's
yeah. Like
like,
no one died,
yeah,
right? No one
yeah.
was hurt. Um, it kind of sucks though, like portraying the whole. Like I remember when that story came out, I'm like, oh boy, like this is not gonna look good on Brazil.
No,
Um,
not at all.
but I also felt like when the story came out, I'm like, I don't think that's what happened. Like,
Yeah.
this is Ryan Lochte. I don't this is gonna happen to the most like dumbest athlete. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Or maybe it happens because he's the dumbest athlete. So
Yeah, so that is our story on Ryan Lochte. The next Olympics will be in 2028. It will be in Los Angeles. There will be no breakdancing at this Olympics. There will
ooh,
be flag football, so that'll be interesting. If US better dominate so hard on that,
yeah, they
I don't
must.
see any other team. Like Canada might come second, and that's it.
Do they bring like professional flag football players or is it like NFL players
It's going to
going?
be
What is
NFL.
it?
Like even the NFL has been promoting this. I think they're going to
Yeah,
have NFL players in it.
that's so weird.
Is
I
it?
don't know.
I think
I
it's
don't know. I
cool.
mean, it's gonna be cool, but it's also like,
Well, it's never happened, right? So
yeah, I don't know.
that'll be interesting. Other sports will be cricket will be involved.
Cool,
Squash will be involved,
cool.
and baseball and softball will be involved. Which
That's gonna be really fun.
I'm surprised they haven't been involved before, and cricket too.
Honestly, yeah, I'm now
Yeah,
that you mentioned, I'm kind of shocked that
yeah.
baseball was never in. It's a massive
Lacrosse as
sport.
well. Will also be involved. But like I think every Olympics they add a sport, they add a few sports, and they see like if it's gonna happen or not, if it's gonna continue.
Yeah.
Now a lot of people think that because of breakdancing, like those people that breakdance and sucked, they took it out, but they had already decided to take it out before they even began the breakdancing thing. They were like, this is just gonna be a France thing, and that's it.
Oh,
But
interesting.
they've had other things like they had rock climbing or sorry, bouldering for the 2021 Olympics.
That was really
Uh,
cool.
and they took it out from the France one. So I don't really understand how they go like location to location, sport to sport. I think they try to like customize it to the location. Um, but yeah, I'm not sure. I'm
I
not
don't know.
entirely sure.
What do you want to see in the Olympics?
I want to like I'm excited for lacrosse. That'll be pretty
Yeah.
cool. Ottawa did just get a lacrosse team, so that will be something.
Oh,
I'll
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Ottawa Black Bears.
Cool.
Yeah. What I want to see. Okay, this is what I want to see. the basketball has 3-on-3. Like, sorry, the Olympics has 3-on-3 basketball. But the rules are that you have to establish yourself in the 3-on-3 competition like year round, which is why the U.S. had to put Jimmer Fredette in there instead of like established
Who?
NBA players.
Who?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. They lost; they didn't even medal. So I'm like, they should just put like NBA players in there. Like, yeah, LeBron might not make it to the 2028 team, but he could be on the 3-on-3 team.
Yeah, but it's also I think that kind of takes away from it in a sense.
I know, but
Imagine
still,
you trade 3-on-3 your entire life. You're a 3-on-3 player, and you make it to the Olympics, and
it's
it's Anthony Edwards. What are you gonna do?
it's LeBron, KD, and Steph.
Yeah, it's like okay, okay. What do you
Even
think of?
sorry,
Sorry,
go ahead.
what do you think of the esports thing? Did you see that?
There were esports Olympics.
No, they're like, I think. Hold on, give me 1 second. Yeah, I think they're adding. Yeah, if you go to the Olympic website, uh, they're looking to add esports into the Olympics.
Okay, let me just say right now.
All right,
For
let's
those of
go.
you for those of you who know me, my two passions, other than my friends and my girlfriend, are sports and video games. All right. Obviously, combining both is amazing. I've been playing FIFA whenever. Esports isn't a sport.
Okay.
I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that LeBron is on the same level of like a guy who knows how to play Madden really well. You know what I mean? If they
Oh, you know
make
what? Not to cut off your rant, I'm looking it up, and I think it's they're making their own esports Olympics.
okay, that's what I
But
was
go
gonna say.
ahead. Yeah, yeah,
I was
yeah.
gonna say like they could make their own esports Olympics,
Yeah.
but to make it a legit sport when like we just saw breakdancing fall apart, no, bro, I can't.
Yeah,
No,
that's a little much. That's a little much, man.
I'm trying to see like if they're ever gonna do like billiards or like darts.
That would be so boring, though,
It
man.
would be boring. But like
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not watching horse jumping. You know what I mean?
that's true. That's true.
They should do hobby horsing.
What's hobby? Or like the people that dress up?
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh no, that's so weird, dude.
I know.
Imagine a guy dressed up as a horse standing next to like LeBron James meddling, you know? Or on that boat, you know how LeBron James had that flag, and one of
Yeah.
the flag holders is like him, Coco Goff, and a horseman. No,
Yeah.
that's insane, dude.
All right. I think that brings us near the end of our episode. Tune in next time as we talk about another sports lesson. And if you want to give us some ideas, let us know. But yeah, you can check us out on YouTube, Spotify, and I will figure out Apple Podcasts soon. Other than that, my name is Auweezy,
Mills.
and we will see you next time. Thank you.
Ja.
Yeah.
Ja.